Welcome back. My name is Kit.
My name's Madison.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Steve.
And this is Streaming Yellowjackets. This time it's episode 6. Thanksgiving, Canada.
Parentheses, Canada.
Canada. I'm back.
Canada.
Hopefully somebody did some, maybe you got it right away, but or at least research on what the title means. But we'll get into it. We'll get into it as a honeycomb, maybe.
I'll do it right now.
I'm sure it means something, right?
Well, I was going to
When is
ask you guys
Canadian
what you thought.
Thanksgiving?
You think that's all it is?
Probably.
It's October 13th.
Yeah, so that's
All
when this
right.
episode takes place, probably.
Yeah, they're like,
'Cause
it's starting to get a little cold.
It is getting a little colder.
Okay.
You think they're going to do Halloween in the wilderness? It's kind of pointless.
I think they should. Why not?
That'd be fun.
Well, it's like a year-round thing for them.
Well, now well, it seems like after the end of this episode, they have neighbors now, so they could do it. Yeah.
They're going to dress up and commune with spirits now.
Trick or treat.
I don't even have any candy. Sorry that I was gone.
Fucking rude.
For the real stream fiends, I was gone for everything. Some people are only Yellowjackets fans, but my dog was sick one day for recording, and then when it came time to record for Severance, I had to drop everything and fly to LA real quick, and it was just a wild
Allah.
It was a wild week, not West.
Yeah, I heard you were stuck in
Wicked
the airport
wild week.
for a
I
minute.
was on the way home. It's a long story that I won't tell here. We don't have time, but I got spit roasted by Delta. It's the short version of that story.
I see.
I ended up
Both ends.
on 7. That's what that means.
We said I ended up in and hesitated. I was just filling in for you.
Yeah, I ended up in like 3 extra states and a couple extra planes and
Damn.
real circuitous way home. But somebody commented that was just the universe evening out the fact that I was able to hang out with Kaylee Spaney for a little while. And that's probably true.
That tracks.
True.
Yeah.
She's like Elijah Wood nice, like all time as far as actor and filmmaker interactions.
And
Elijah Wood level.
This is Priscilla. This is Alien Romulus.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Civil War.
Hell yeah.
Kaylee, very diminutive person.
Yeah, very small.
Also like Elijah Wood. Interesting.
Maybe it's the same person. Have we seen them in the same way?
I haven't. That's true. Anyway, this is a good trip. I'm glad to be back. The studio is new and improved. I hadn't even seen it yet.
Yeah, what do you think, man?
I love it.
Keen.
There's so much room for activities.
This is
I
phase
know.
1 of the build up, the
Phase
changes.
1? There's more phases?
There's more phases, yeah.
I can't wait to see
We got
what
to
you
get rid
do.
of these dumb
Kit and
little
I
lights.
are not on top of each other, which is nice. Like,
Yes. Everybody seems so far now.
I know. Andy's literally an entire state away from me.
I have to look through so much stuff to see the tiniest sliver
Yeah.
of Steve's face.
If I angle my head at the right amount, I could see one of your eyes through, no joke, 7 different things.
Like this eye goes out of focus because I'm only using this one for anything.
You just look at the monitor.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
We got the
Yeah.
monitor
Hey,
now.
friend.
So cool. Anyway, episode 6 of Yellowjackets is what we're going to be talking about. I missed your guys' recap of 5. I had thoughts. Doesn't matter now.
Hillary Swank was not in it.
This
Yeah.
is crazy. Swank Watch 2025 is the wildest thing I've ever
really is,
experienced.
yeah.
Swank watch.
I still maybe she's such a good actor that she's actually there already.
She's been there the whole time.
is what my head canon is.
She's playing Travis.
I'm so excited to talk about this episode with you guys. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about our overall thoughts, go through a scene by scene, play by play recap of what happened in episode 6, and then cap it all off with a few fun categories like our choice cuts, our top 3 favorite moments of the episode, some honeycombs, and our buzzworthy performance, our favorite performance of the episode. We're going to get into it.
Before we get
Lickety
into it,
split.
though, I do want to shout out real quick.
Shout out.
We do have Yellowjackets themed streaming things merch.
Which I was wearing when I met Kaylee Spaney.
Hell, I saw that.
Best plug
I
of
did
all
see
time.
that. I did see that.
Madison is wearing the baseball tee. If you're on the cameras, I'm wearing the hoodie. So
I'm wearing a complete unknown shirt that Searchlight sent me.
I have a Pan's Labyrinth shirt on.
I love it.
And I'm proud
That's
of you
what
both.
that was.
Yeah.
I saw it when you walked in. I was like, is that Pants Labyrinth?
That's Pale Man.
But aren't you wearing the Yellowjackets underwear?
I am.
The streaming thing's underwear.
The G-string.
Nice.
Yeah, that's edible because
It's just a
Yellow
bumblebee
Jackets.
on the front.
It's human flesh
Oh, God.
underwear.
The Buffalo Bill style G-string.
Would you wear this? I wear this. But go get your Streaming Things Yellowjackets merch in the links below.
People think it feels like a wedgie, but it's actually like nothing's there. Try it.
Why are you so good at that?
Practice.
He's Buffalo Bill.
You know how you get to Carnegie Hall, don't you?
Puts the lotion on the skin.
All right, Madison, what did you think of Thanksgiving Canada? Which I don't like. It should have been called Canadian Thanksgiving.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of funny. Thanksgiving Canada.
So the reason it's called that is because Canadian Thanksgiving is on October 13th.
Mhm.
I just feel like that's such a stretch of a name for this episode. But anyway, whatever. So I don't think you were here, but someone asked me to continue my A Few Words, No Context because I had stopped doing it. And so they were like, bring it back. And so I brought it back for episode 5. So I'm bringing it back for episode 6 as well. So my Few Words, No Context for this episode are Bamboo Cafe. Service here sucks. Did I manage to knock you up? So
That was a great line.
yeah, it was. Overall, I like this episode. I feel like we were given a lot of twists and turns, and honestly, some of the best performances I've seen from some of the younger performers. I still find myself to be drawn to the 96 timeline over the adult timeline, and I think I feel like that's on purpose. I feel like we're supposed to like the younger timeline. I'm still bummed that Hilary Swank is not here yet. Because I'm like, what is happening with her character? Like, who is she? Like, what? Because I was like, oh, maybe she's Mari, maybe she's Melissa. But now I'm like, I don't know if she's any like of the younger girls from the young timeline. I don't know. But I also like, Misty tuning into her investigator, like trying to find who killed Lottie. It is revealed that Ty is like creepy Ty.
Sleepy Time Ty.
Sleepy Time Ty. And again, I think the performances from Nat and Coach Ben, Stephen Kruger, and Sophie Thatcher are really, really good. And so, yeah, I mean, I had a really good time with this episode. Obviously, we get like this really big moment at the end of the episode where, people find them. And so we're like, oh shit, like what's going to happen now? So yeah, I had a good time with this episode.
Awesome. Andy?
I am obviously very, very upset that Hilary Swank was not in this episode. It's been bothering me at this point. And I feel
The
like
man wants his swank.
they just shouldn't have even advertised it at this point. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I think that this is a good episode. I think it's oddly paced. I think it's interesting that this show has more of a body count than it has had for like ever up to this point in a season. And yet it has felt like the stakes haven't been there compared to previous deaths. I love the ending of this episode and I love what it implies. The concept of, oh, somebody showed up and then they have to kill this guy, right? Because they need to be in the woods for a year and a half, isn't it? And it hasn't been a full year yet. And they just got found by somebody. So unless a rescue crew, hey, we also crash landed and do you got any goat to share? They're going to be like, oh, fuck, he's found the dead body and now we need to kill him. I fucking love the concept of that because all of the mystery and like pariah feeling of the adult characters in the modern timeline has been like, it's worn a little thin because it's like, okay, we get it. They maybe ate some people. But then if they add in the twist of, oh, some people went to find you too, and they disappeared also, that just adds this whole other layer of ick to the modern characters. And I fucking love that. Mm-hmm. I'm super disappointed with the way Ben went out. I think that the performances were great. I just think conceptually I was like, what did we do with this character? Like it feels like we had an opportunity to do a ton with him and just changed our mind halfway through at the writing table. But I think that they made a decision and they executed that decision well. I just don't love the decision from the writing. But I had a phenomenal time with Natalie. I thought that she had some stuff to do. which she's felt like kind of a non-entity for the majority of the season. So having Sophie Thatcher step up and be awesome was great.
Steve?
I think overall generally positive on this episode. I kind of agree with Andy that the pacing of the season is overall off. It did feel weird that Coach Ben died in this episode. It was just a really weird way to sort of string that storyline along. And then like last episode, they had the whole like very tense, we're going to shoot him. And then they don't like, no, wait, we need him. And then just to have the next episode, they just kill him off anyway. It just felt very deflating in that moment, in the way the pacing of the season is. Again, structurally and in a vacuum, I think it was a great episode, but like overall, it was just kind of like, oh, okay, I guess I was really into that character. And then when he died, it was very like, I felt very not satisfied by it, if that makes sense. The adult storyline is finally kicking up though. I do like that they finally opened up the DAT tape. And now we know the DAT tape's probably from these people that they've introduced at the end of this episode. And I do appreciate like, oh, now the 96 storyline is going to have this really interesting take where this was very I think the Lord of the Flies ends this way, where the kids are like, yay, we killed a character. And then like a sailor shows up. We're here to save you, kids. They're like, oh no. But I do like how now it seems this season's going to be probably like, hey, we can't let these people know that we murdered our coach and like celebrate it like this. So we're going to kill them too. I assume that's where it's going to go. Nelson Franklin is the guy that see at the end. He's a really funny actor that pops up in a lot of things. Like he's Robbie in The New Girl, one of Cece's ex-boyfriends. Also, he's in Scott Pilgrim versus the World when he's like, do you know a girl who looks like this, and holds up the scribble paintings like, oh, that's Ramona Flowers. That's this guy.
Oh, nice.
So he's just one of those actors that I like to see pop up. And the fact that he showed up like, hello, I'm here. And then it ends with that like, what the fuck, was like exactly what I needed from that character. So I'm excited to see where the rest of the season goes. But just a little, I feel like the season as a whole just needs to work on its pacing overall.
Yeah. Get him.
Got him.
Get him, Steve Dave. So I wasn't here last week and I didn't listen to the pod. I'm begging me to listen to the show. I don't know how you guys reacted. I was super not on board with last week's episode. I thought it was pretty silly on many levels, but so I'm kind of glad I wasn't here. I don't want to hate on, anything too hard. Maybe it was the universe just kind of making me pump the brakes. So I had this interesting experience where it's like, I'm watching this episode and like, I thought it was so silly that they like cut the Achilles tendon of Coach. Cause it's like, he already has one leg and he's tied up.
Right.
That's just mean.
Yeah.
For no reason. And like, it's like Shauna is such a meanie and it's been interesting. I think they're doing this on purpose. It's had the opposite effect, I think, that it was intended to on me specifically. But watching Shauna be like so barbaric and then watching present day Shauna, it's kind of cool because it's like, oh, this is why everybody kind of didn't fuck with her in the adult timeline at first. You know what I mean? And like now that she's the queen, I'm like, maybe they get like ultra primal and violent under her leadership specifically. And like, so she's actually like way more to blame than we thought. That's kind of interesting. And I'm talking myself into it now. But anyway, I'm like, fuck this. And then the way that this ended, I'm with Andy, like this was so amazing and such a funny twist that like I haven't in a long time wanted to watch the next episode right away. In the way that like last night, even though it was 2 a.m, which was not that long ago, I was like, oh, like I really want to keep watching because that's fucking awesome. Right. So I'm all the way back in. I think it was a great little twist. I don't know. It could be interesting. I guess they're with the tape being in the present timeline, they leave it a little bit open, like in the sense that maybe one of those, because there's 2 people, right? A man and a woman.
There's 3 people.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There's a person that, I forget which one of them. One of them, is it Lottie, sees somebody in the woods. She thinks it's Coach Ben or something, or Spirit, but it's a different silhouette than Robbie, and also the girl that's with, I call him Robbie, I don't know his name, Nelson Franklin's character, because he stands up with another woman. So,
well, I think we're jumping to the conclusion that these people are real. Like, could it be that they're just illusions that these girls are seeing? Like,
well, I think they're real because how do they have a DAT tape? Like, who has the recording device like that?
I mean, is it confirmed that the DAT tape is from them?
Well, I'm not saying it's confirmed,
but it's
I'm
confirmed
saying,
that tape was in the wilderness.
Sure.
Yeah, so we know there's a tape of what happened to them in the wilderness. So it explains, because my first thought when they were listening to the tape in the car was like, who had a tape recorder on the island? Like that's so these people being introduced makes me think, oh, that's where that equipment comes from. Is those people?
But the third person, I mean, the initial person that Lottie sees, and she's like, Coach Ben, because I think that is a ghost. And my thought is it Coach Ben bringing those people to them to help them, or is it Coach Ben bringing those people to them to like expose them? Obviously, I think because there was like a big juggle. Oh, is he a good character, or is he like did he start the fire or did he not? That type of narrative. And so
he didn't start the fire.
Exactly.
Interesting. I didn't take that to be a ghost at all. I thought it was supposed to be like a rug pull of like you think that it's a spirit or something, and then they're like, no, there's actually people there.
Well, I think it could be interpreted either way, right? And I think that's what they want us.
Yeah,
this
this
is annoying.
is the thing that the show always does.
Yeah. It's because I think it's a play on Akila's vision where Coach Scott is like the connection to them getting out of there. And so that connection is him bringing those people to them.
Oh,
and
I see what you're saying.
And that's what Lottie saw at the beginning was that figure. And then those people came up upon them. And that's how, so
I think conceptually that's how it's supposed to like kind of read, because Coach is the bridge to the other world, right? And so this is, they kill Coach. Here's the real world coming back to them.
I wonder if like Swank watched 2025, not to go back there, but I wonder if it's like a man and a woman and a daughter, and that'd be an interesting new character for Hillary Swank to be.
Yeah.
And instead of Melissa, it's like this really angry person that was just like hiking and had her parents murdered by these crazy, you know what I mean?
I had a
That'd be good.
I had a weird theory that Hillary Swank is Callie in the future.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Someone I saw that theory. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how that would tie in, but I
that'd be neat if the show just goes bonkers and it's like 2042.
Yeah.
And there's like flying cars and stuff.
Yeah. I don't know how that would.
We can't let the tape get out, Callie.
Yeah.
Who gets the Queen of Hearts hologram? Just totally off the rails. I'd fucking love that. Fuck it,
Yeah, why not?
Pew pew, lasers and shit.
It's Hillary Swank in a space movie, but it's like Yellowjackets.
Yeah.
Well, we know that one shot shows Nelson Franklin and an actress named Ashley Sutton are the ones that step forward into frame at the end of this episode.
We knew that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nelson Franklin and Ashley Sutton.
Yeah.
I've been saying that.
You've been saying.
Begging you to listen to the show. But yeah, I just think it's fun. I'm really into all this, and I wasn't into all that. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into the meat and taters. What's taters? Of what went down. But before we do that, let's take a brief break to hear from one of our sponsors. And we're back, and it's time for the recap. It starts, well, do you have the
synopsis?
The Paramount Plus description of the episode?
I do. Would you like to read it?
Lay it on me. Lay it on me.
All right, I'm gonna lay it on you. The synopsis is: the Yellowjackets start turning on each other like a reality TV reunion.
Interesting.
Does that technically
Using a
happen?
simile in a description is interesting.
I agree. Well, I think it's a reference to, weren't they watching reality TV in the motel?
Yeah,
totally.
Oh, okay.
Repo divorcees.
Yes.
Nice.
It starts in the present, which doesn't happen a ton, I don't think. And Shauna returning home, I think, from finding out that Lottie was killed.
Yeah, on her Walter escapades.
Yeah. And that song's playing with the Queen of Hearts. And it's 2 a.m. Jeff was up worried, waiting. And he's like, I almost called the cops. You know how I feel about cops now, which is really funny.
I'm ACAB now, baby.
And she tells him that Lottie is dead. He acts pretty strange. Did you guys clock that? Or is that just me?
I did.
Oh, no. For realsy? Like it was, I don't know if that was intentional.
I was like, okay, is he not bummed, or did he have something to do with it? So
It's Jeff just being like over Lottie's shit, like, oh no.
shit.
Dang.
Darn it.
She was my favorite.
Of all your weird ass friends, the cult leader was my favorite
I was about to call her. But Callie overhears that Lottie has been murdered. And she's like, oh no, I shouldn't have hidden this tape from you that I can't play.
Oh no, wait, I have a tape from 5 episodes ago.
Yeah, I didn't really understand like why that incident encouraged her to get the tape out, I guess. It just, I'm not entirely sure.
I think they were trying to say that Callie thought if someone's trying to kill them and is killing members of the group, it's whoever sent this tape. And had I given this to my mother, maybe she could have stopped it.
Yeah.
And that might be.
I see.
I do really see myself in Callie though, because she took this tape because she's like, what is this? Couldn't figure out how to play it, and then just sat it on her dresser, forgot about it for several weeks, which is 100% a thing I do.
You put it in her junk drawer.
Yeah, like, I don't know what this is.
It would have been so funny if she couldn't even find it. That would have been a full Steve move.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? Never mind, Mom. That's sad about Lottie.
Yeah.
But she gives him the tape. She's like, I think I fucked up, right? And now Shauna recontextualizes everything, and she wants to run. She jumps straight to, okay,
Pack a bag.
guys, someone's trying to kill us. Most importantly, me. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Back in the past, Natalie wakes the coach up with Brecky. And he's like, this is not living, Nat.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Am I still here?
I had one leg. Now I got 0. The math ain't mathin' on legs. And he's right, because like you guys, I didn't talk about this in my overall recap, but I do think it's really silly that we ended up saving Coach to torture Coach and kill him in the next episode. Like, it does feel like a writer's actually kind of move. Yeah. Sorry, Steve. We thought we had some more work for you, but didn't pan out.
Didn't pan out, buddy.
Good thing you were putting your best of the entire show in these last couple episodes, though.
For real.
Yeah, and he's begging her to kill him. And I don't want to be too negative, but I think the montage of begging her to kill him did not work super well.
It was a little strange.
Because it's like,
maybe a gun.
I like how it escalates.
Maybe you can
though. It's
suffocate
like,
me.
hey, if you give me a gun, it'll be super cool. Cut. Actually, a gun would be even better because that's quicker. Actually, just fucking choke me, please. Just choke me to death.
Same.
Kinky.
Let me slip when I take a bath. Most accidents happen in the bathroom, Natalie. At a certain point, the coach gets real stinky. He's like, I need a bath, right? That's where he pulls that move. And then his last card is, I did try to burn the cabin down. I tried to fucking kill you, Natalie. I never liked you, just like your mother didn't like you. He's goading her into killing him. And Natalie,
I thought you were the worst player on the team.
Yeah, just saying. I think your mullet's stupid.
I fucking love the line, you sentence me to death, you need to keep that promise. It's good.
It's good.
Yeah, I
good.
promised him. And Natalie, she's had enough. She says she's done nursing Ben, added to the chore list. She can't emotionally handle this anymore.
Does Jen shoulder check Nat?
She does.
She does.
What the fuck? Jen with a G?
I'm the new hunter now.
What?
They call me Craven.
Why are you giving Nat so much stank?
Well, I gather that
Jen?
they're not really happy with Nat as the leader currently.
She's being all hunty.
For sure. I'm just saying, Jen?
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Yeah, like you just became a named character. It's
Like,
don't
chill
check me.
out.
The only reason
You
you're
don't even have an
important,
adult version.
the only reason you're important to the show is because Nat showed you how to be next hunter.
Well, now that she's dead in the future, they don't have any respect for her.
The 96 girls figured it out.
It's the writers angry that Juliette Lewis wanted to leave. Like, too good for us. We had plans. Now we got to kill Ben.
This is your fault, Juliette Lewis. You did this.
Van and Thaisa realize that winter is coming. They have their little Stark moment. Winter is coming. They're like,
That's the three F's: furs, food, and shelter.
That's right.
Or fun huts.
Fun huts. Shauna and Melissa have a fun hut. I do like their little
love this,
caddy. Like, do you think she wears Jackie's clothes when they make out? I liked
funny.
every bit of this. And they're like, well, I guess it's weird, but it's helping Shauna out, right? That's what Thaisa says to Van.
Shauna seems better. Not happy.
In the present, Misty needs a favor from another, I assume, citizen detective, this one named Carl, who works at like a DNA lab, whatever that's called. I'm sure there's a name for that kind of facility. And it's the under the nails gunk from Lottie's body. Mm-hmm. Lottie's body.
We likes to party.
Lottie, yaddy, yaddy, yaddy. I think we made that joke a lot 3 years ago. Now that I'm thinking about it. Walter is texting, asking about Shauna, and, Misty's like, suck a dick. And then Shauna and the gang get a motel. They discuss the tape and its existence. She pretends to, what is this about? Like, she pretends to be dizzy, right? And it's supposed to be like because he's like, oh, we're together on this finally. Let's just be honest and have everything out in the open. She's like, yeah, for sure, babe. And then she immediately hides something from him. But what she hides is not something she needed to hide. I feel like she could have been like, I'm going to text Van and try to get a DAT player. And he'd have been like, yeah, great idea. We want to hear it.
Yeah.
So it was kind of silly
Well,
to me.
she saw Jeff's reaction to Lottie being dead. She's like, "Oh, I don't think he likes my friends."
Yeah. He's definitely a prime suspect. Maybe that's what it is. I did like the secret knock joke. Which secret knock should I use? Surprise me. Which is not how a secret knock works, but it's so funny. And then she calls Taissa to talk to Van. And Taissa and Van are living it up in a 5-star hotel, getting massages and all kinds of stuff.
You're probably 5 feet away from each other right now. That's why I called you, and I don't have her number.
Yeah.
I love the bit where Taissa hears that and looks around and realizes that Van is right there.
Yeah.
And kind of giggles like,
It was cute. It was cute.
yeah. But she's there getting room service with every, expensive food item she can think of. And Van kind of turns on her pretty quickly, like, because she looks like Van's having a great time. She's like drawing the bubble bath. And all of a sudden she's like, don't you even care our friends are dead? And it's like, you were just enjoying that bathtub, girl. You got a robe on right now.
Hey, Maine lobsters, that was one Maine lobster too far
she's
for
like,
Van.
this
Right?
is ridiculous.
We would share the one, Ty.
The massage, fine. The happy ending, fine. The bath, fine. But lobster?
2 of them? That's too much.
Mm-hmm. You don't give a shit about anything but self-care right now. And Thais is like, I just want to feel good. I was watching that Halle Berry movie from 2001 right just a minute ago with Billy Bob Thornton. And she says, I just make me feel good. And it made me think how I want to feel that way.
Should we make out with you on a couch?
And she's like, so what's a DAT tape? Like, who even uses those? And Van goes, garage bands and birders and, oh, fuck.
Hillary Swank.
What do you think? I guess she remembered the bird watchers that came to the island, right?
Yeah.
Or I always say island because I'm used to Lost, when they came to the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, those dudes were bird watchers?
Well, I assume like this is logically where she went.
Bird watchers, rock bands, or those people we murdered in the woods that one time.
Garage bands, birders, and Franklin Nelson. In the past, Travis goes to Aquila and he's like, you've been hanging out with Lottie a little too much. I'm worried about you. I know I'm the one that put you guys together, but that's kind of freaking me out at this point, right? You're huffing that cave gas. It is a habit forming gas. Okay. As a previous addict, I'm telling you to watch yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm having meetings at the oak tree every Thursday, or what I assume is Thursday. You're welcome to join. He tries to 12-stepper. It's not working. Coach is over there catching flies, drawing flies. Catching flies is that's what frogs do.
Yeah.
And
I think that still works though. Catching
Maybe.
flies, because
flies.
my grandpa would say that, catching flies.
it was your grandpa dumb.
He would. Well, his catchphrase literally was, "I know nothing." So
Well, your
Grandpa Jon Snow.
His name was
my grandpa was this ancient German guy. So if you like ever asked
how
him something
ancient. Should
too
we be worried?
well, he was 92 and 97.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Too.
Okay.
Yeah, and so like if you asked him anything complex, he would always go, "I know nothing."
That's because his lawyer told him to say that.
He was lawyered up. Yeah. Otto knew not to talk.
Oh no. Mari ends up bringing Coach his food, which is
Fucked up.
it's interesting. Yeah, because I mean, obviously she's the
Mari.
impetus for the reason he's there. But at this point, he's on a hunger strike. I didn't know where. I thought he had shit.
Me too.
She goes, ew.
Well, I was like,
And he's all smug. Like,
Sorry about
you like
that."
that? I was like, oh no.
well, I thought it was like, in addition to like not eating, he's like retaliating by like
I shit myself.
Yeah,
shitting on
it's-
himself and making
Clean
him yeah.
Clean it.
Well, I assume he can't get around anywhere, so I imagine it's
Well, yeah.
smelly in there because he is shitting himself. They would have to,
Well,
I guess.
we weren't seeing. I'm sure that was happening off camera, but like they would have had to have helped him like go to the bathroom.
The reveal of him having a hunger strike, I don't think is really well done, because your immediate thought is, yes, he's shitting himself. He can't get around. And then
My
the fact
first
that
thought
there's
was-
a week's worth of food not being eaten. How'd you not see that?
Yeah.
It's goofy. My first thought was like his wound was rotting.
Oh, that too, yeah.
Or he had even like cut off another appendage, and that would have been dark if he's like, I shoot through my arm or what, you know what I mean? Like, I would have been like, nice.
Didn't need this other
But
leg.
it's just like some moldy berries. So I was like, I mean, of all the things in that pen, he's in an animal pen, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't think rotten vegetables are the stinkiest thing in there.
The goat shit on me.
Right. And I mean, I guess we're getting to that point, but for them to like do the tube down his throat, like to go through all of that and then for him to just die. I don't know. It's a little.
Oh, it's weak sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're like, he can't die. He's our bridge home. We have to make him eat somehow, right? Like they're really sold on this idea. Back in the present, Misty gets a message from Walter that says to look left. It's a peace offering, and it's a limo that he had sent to bring Lottie's trash. I couldn't find anything. Maybe you can.
I think it's a little like too much that it's a limo. I mean,
so funny.
it could have just been
Uber Eats.
a normal car.
Yeah, could have been
Could have been any other.
Could have been a
car.
Corolla.
I love the fact that Walter sent his limo driver to do it. That's so funny to me.
He said you'd be this way.
Also, here's some trash.
Yeah.
He's used to Walter shenanigans.
That's
It wasn't
true.
weird at all for him.
The shit that guy has seen.
Back in the past, Misty and Natalie discuss, Coach's cheekbones and how they're drawn. Misty wants to take over and fix the problem. Natalie's like, he's suffering and needs our help. And Misty's like, I know he's suffering. I got it. Let me take it from here.
Yeah.
Don't you worry
Natalie's
about it
implying
anymore.
He needs our help to kill him.
Yeah, he needs death.
Wink.
The angel
But
of death to
Misty's
help
like,
him.
no, I took an oath.
He needs a bath.
No one would die under
wink, wink.
my watch.
I love how Travis comes up and they don't know what to do with him this season either, because he's so like, wait, is Coach like not cool right now?
Wait, what are we doing?
Last time I saw him, we sliced his Achilles tendon and it was fine.
He was okay. Does he smell bad?
Is this tanky? That's not cool.
Is he shitting himself?
Oh, I should have told.
Coach,
Nat, did you know?
that's
The
embarrassing.
way this dude's dialogue is written sometimes for this season, it's like they didn't give him the script and they're like, just go run with it. What's going on? Is he okay?
I miss Harvey. Is that not what we're doing?
Harvey!
Yeah, he's just kind of lingering around. He doesn't really have a purpose.
Listen,
this
we've been here
season.
for like about a year now, and I'm almost done with my first Harry Potter novel. Do we have any more on the plane? So I'm getting close. I'm 15 chapters away.
They've almost got the stone. Did you know it was Coral the whole time? Back in the present, Van is looking for the DAT player in her basement. This is a very interesting scene that I was way more on board with than you'd think. She finds it, but in that same box is one of those old clear phones from the 90s.
Oh, man.
And it rings, even though it's obviously not plugged in. She probably doesn't even have a landline. And she answers it, and there's like an electrical whoosh in the basement. And the voice says Van, and she says she recognizes it as Thaisa. And the voice says, I can't help. Now, does it say I can't help or I can't help me?
I think it was I can't help me.
And she's a little freaked out by that. But then the real Thaisa comes in, bringing the box cutters. And I don't know. Again, I really do think like this is all going to end up being there was nothing supernatural. And I'm going to hate it when the show's over.
Yeah.
I might not even be alive when that happens, though, so it's fine. But
Well,
in the moment, I was like, oh, there could be some timey-wimey stuff that ends up
Yeah.
happening.
That'd be dope.
What
That
if
would be
the
cool.
older actors ended up in the wilderness with their younger, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's dumb as hell. It doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry I even said it. But I was like, yeah.
Oh, I took this as an astral projecting type thing where like Sleepy Time Ty has taken over Ty this whole season, which is something I think we've all kind of thought.
Alluded to, yeah.
But this is the real Ty sort of somehow astral projecting a message to Van, like, help me. Like, that's not really me.
That is 99% what's going on.
Yeah.
But I want them to just go full.
Like time
Doesn't make
travel.
any sense. Fuck it.
Like
with the
Hillary
show.
Swank comes out through a portal like, I'm Callie.
Yes.
Ty has a message. Ty from the future.
But she's got like
You were right. We shouldn't have gotten 2 lobsters.
She's got like reading rainbow guys like Cyclops glasses on.
Oh yeah. She looks like fucking Cable from the X-Men.
Yes. Grenade launcher arm.
Come on, I'm Callie. This is Bishop. He's also from X-Men. Let's go.
I'm in.
The Sentinels have taken over.
Yes.
Yellowjackets of Futures Past.
You're reading me. What I want from the show is, will I get it? We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Misty is going through Lottie's trash. She was nice and just took it to a dumpster to do this, which is cool. And she's like, Lottie would never eat Bamboo Cafe.
That place is trash.
2.5 stars on Yelp and a C rating from the city.
No vegetarian options?
No way. She goes there and spots Lisa, who was one of the cult members there, if you recall, from season 2.
Lisa. I did not. I was like, who the fuck is Lisa?
I was like, from Blackpink?
I completely forgot.
She's in White Lotus season 3 now?
Oh,
what?
Cool.
Good for her.
Nice. Well
Now,
done, Lisa.
I remembered after a second.
Okay.
Like, I was like, who would she know? Oh, yeah, that's right. There was that whole plot
I think it
line
was,
with
I figured it out when Misty confronted her later in the episode.
Yeah.
But I was like, who the fuck is that?
Lisa was the one that Juliet Lewis was kind of hanging out with. I hope they become friends. They put their differences aside and Misty can get a new best friend named Lisa.
I think we'll never see Lisa again.
Probably. That actress is clearly moving on to bigger things.
Yeah.
Jeff and Callie are back at the motel watching trashy reality TV.
Rebo divorcees.
And
they say the two best days of your life is when you buy a boat and when you sell a boat.
I love this.
I love the show playing the whole time throughout the scene because you hear the guy going, wait, no, my boat. Like in the background.
I didn't hear any of that.
Not my boat.
Boats and hoes. I love the bit where Thaisa calls. It's so tiny, but it's kind of a cool touch where like, because it's Van, she says. So it's like Shauna and Van do not even have each other's phone numbers, right? Which is a small thing, but I just like that because she said earlier, like, that's why she called Thaisa to talk to Van. But then even after that, like they don't bother, like they don't hang out at all. They don't fuck with each other.
We're not friends.
I just think that's interesting. So yeah, but Thaisa calls, but it's Van, and she's like, I have to go out, and then we get the whole bit. We're like, we're just trying to keep you safe, Callie, even though you're 30. You're not, you know. And Callie hugs her and slips her phone with. Does anyone even know how to get to the recorder app?
I do.
It would take me a
just
minute.
search for it.
Yeah, but like she did that so swiftly. Like she'd be recording. That was on the home screen.
That was.
That was maybe even on like the bar at the bottom with only the 4 apps.
Ready.
Callie may not know how to play a DAT tape, but she knows how to open the Memos app.
She knows
for
how to do
sure.
that. If
For
you know what
sure.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Slips that in her purse. And back in the past, Misty comes as a friend to ask Coach to eat before they all come in masked up to force feed him.
Why are they wearing masks?
They just want to make it as terrifying as
for the
possible.
smell, I assume. He's got like days old fish in there.
Yeah.
It's wild, but they do it.
Yeah, they make him bite down on a tree and they like force a hose down there.
And it makes him bleed.
Yeah. And then Travis is like, that was fucked.
That was not cool.
Oh.
I'm glad I put this apron on.
Who's
That was messy.
Coach, you need a bath.
That was yucky. And Natalie tells Akilah, I hope you're fucking sure about this. And Akilah's like, I'm definitely not at all.
Not at all.
And then Shauna's like, we'll get better at it. We'll have to just feeding tube practice is what we need, girls.
Let's do some drills.
I did love when Coach said service here sucks.
Yeah,
that was
good.
funny.
That was good.
That was good.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to mention this in my overall thoughts. This is the pettiest thing I've ever said, potentially.
I like pettiness.
So Natalie has 3 or 4 scenes in this episode where she's very upset and she's near tears or actively crying. Okay. Sophie Thatcher is a wonderful actor. Love her stuff. And I think it's maybe just an editing choice that went awry. Did no one else notice that in every single one of these scenes, Natalie has a huge stream of snot coming out of her right nostril specifically?
I did not notice that.
Did not
Really?
notice
I found
either.
it incredibly distracting.
I wasn't on nostril watch, no.
There's this
No, I did
thing
not
in movies
notice.
where when an actor is really upset, like
Yeah, they get all mucusy.
the mucus comes out. And I always love that as a
Yeah.
commitment to the craft. Like, oh, that is not a desirable look. That is just full on ugly crying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking
Russell Crowe from
Crowe in Gladiator when
Yeah.
he gets snotty on the foot, right?
Yeah, snotty on the
That's
foot.
like my go-to, like, oh, he's sad. When you don't even wipe the snot. Sophie Thatcher goes there 3 times in this episode. And I thought, You know, you know what I mean?
It's not that
I
sad.
don't think your milk is sad every time. You just have allergies,
Yeah,
girl.
they're in the wilderness. She doesn't have any of her medicine.
It's before even a tear. Snot doesn't come first. You know what I mean?
I get it. Maybe she's like clogged up in her left
She needs
nostril.
to be clogged. She needs to run around with like some tissue in that nostril or something.
You know, Misty has a neti pot.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
For sure.
But they can't. They could boil the water. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
they could.
They don't have any salt though.
No, that's true. They don't.
Well, Jen apparently has plenty.
She's throwing it all the time.
But Lottie goes off. Sorry for the snot aside. Lottie goes to speak to the tree. She's like, "Tell me tree stuff. Tell me tree stuff." And Aquila like pops up and she's like, "Let's go back.
Shit on
Let's go off cave gas one more time because she is fiending." Back in the present, Shauna meets them outside in the car in the parking lot, and they're like, "Can't even let me inside." And we hear the DAT tape, but a really dissatisfying amount.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. What is this?
Oh my God, what is this? That's all we get. It cuts to Misty accosting Lisa on one of her deliveries. Lisa's like, "I didn't turn my trauma into stabby. So back up, right?" And I love like, why are you even doing this? And Misty says, "I took an oath and vacation days at work." Great line. When we cut back to the tape in the car, there's female voices screaming and yelling and howling. It's very clearly the girls when they were young in the wilderness doing one of their rituals. And yeah,
Shauna's like, this is targeting us, specifically me. Yeah.
they're very upset about the tape proof being on there. And then
So it's just them screaming.
well,
they
we didn't.
presumably listened to the whole tape and they
Yeah.
just didn't show us.
Okay.
There's probably something in there. We're like, now we're going to hack up Coach Ben. Get him.
Because in my head, I was like, well, if it's just screaming, I mean, that's not, you can't identify the voices from that. Or maybe you could.
I think you're meant to
I,
like.
Shauna Shipman. I'm about to partake in my.
I am the queen of hearts. Yeah.
I wonder if it's
okay.
supposed to be like the beginning of a tape of them finding the girls, and it's like when they're ending with them all screaming out into the
Is when they killed
the singing. And it's
hikers.
like, yeah, the hikers
see, I
showing
see.
up in the recording when they do it.
I see. Okay.
Yes, I agree. Or we'll get some kind of, maybe they hung out with them for a good while, tied them up, forced feeding tubes down them, and then stabbed them. You know, maybe
Yeah,
that's their move. I actually feel bad. I should have killed you right away. We got to stop torturing people. We need to commit to the killing. Yeah, something like that. But I think we're meant to believe that they listened to a lot more than we got to hear. And there's also some damning stuff on there. But Shauna realizes that she's being recorded by Callie's phone and says, "I have to go. It's an emergency."
She's pissed.
She takes the tape player with her.
Pissed.
In the past, Aquila is back in the caves, huffing away. And there's like some glitching and a stop motion bear, like Wes Anderson style, like Fantastic Mr. Fox.
The bear has a better third eye than Doctor Strange.
He does. I'm seeking the three-eyed bear. Jojen took me here. And then she cries because she's like, "I don't know what it means."
What the fuck?
That was really scary.
That's how I feel watching the show.
Seriously. Yeah.
I don't know what it means.
There's so much snot. And Natalie is lying awake. She's so upset with letting Coach down. And then Travis, "What are you doing with that knife?"
Oh,
What are you?
that's a cool one.
What are you cutting? I hope it's not the cheese. That's his flirting.
It's all fart based.
Please don't do this. You know they won't forgive you.
What do you and the cave have in common? You're both a gas.
I don't think that's a good line for picking up chicks.
Oh, worse. Every
You're
time.
like a cave. Fuck, I practiced this. Oh, look, my next note. I'm so sorry. You've got to be shitting me. She's snotting right nostril again. I was so fixated on it. I can't believe you guys didn't notice it.
I'll rewatch it and I'll see.
Please. But Ben, this is kind of touching. Like, Ben is so happy to see the knife. Like, he looks on it with such salvation. You know what I mean? It's heartbreaking. And then he goes, thank you. And she's like, she doesn't do it good.
No.
There's a lot of, I think, I've never done it, but I think there's a lot quicker ways to kill somebody with a knife than stabbing in the chest.
Well, I think she's meant to have stabbed him in the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No shit. Yeah.
But that's a quote unquote fast way to stab
I
someone,
cannot
though.
believe you just said.
Well, when you
I
said-
think it's the heart.
Well, when you said the chest, that could be one of a million ways, and that's the worst way to die.
Listen,
We just had a whole ass thing last week. You weren't on that episode, but in Game of Thrones, the Hound's like, this is, or you were on that episode, the Hound, this is the heart.
yeah,
That's apparently a quick way to kill someone.
it is. But if you notice in that episode, I don't mean to have to do this, not to extra nerd out. So there's between the ribs on the side is where you can slide right in there.
Yeah.
Through the chest plate is very difficult. You have to
Okay.
put some real weight behind that shit.
Sure.
And it's just a show. It doesn't matter. But like she could have went neck, I feel like is what I'm saying.
I feel like that would have been a terrible, like, prolonged death to
What?
slice his throat.
Because then he chokes on his.
Yeah, then he would choke on his blood. Then he would make noise.
Not if she got the artery there.
I mean, she's what?
I'm talking 40
16?
seconds or something.
17?
Yeah, for sure. She's old enough to fucking kill a man, apparently. So
Madison,
I have
how would
nothing
you
else.
kill a man?
How would I kill a man? It would be way more torturous than this.
Use the gun.
You're gonna get caught anyway.
Yeah.
Right. What was the plan? Like, it's going to be quiet.
And
I can deal with it tomorrow.
She was in there till sunrise. I know
Yeah.
Travis said it's almost sunrise, but it's still really dark. It had to be at least 45 minutes.
Yeah.
She come out like that took forever. They come in there and she's mutilated. She went full like ghost face on him.
I completely missed the heart, you guys. I punctured a lung.
I mean, if she stabbed him in the brain, would that have been
Sure.
a quicker death?
Also through skull though. My only point was like there's a lot of squishy parts. She's not a trained assassin. She's the Hound. But and again, it feels so silly I don't mean to be this. I'm not a Reddit user, like actually, but since we're talking about it, yeah, like it's really hard to get through that plate, and she would have had to put some real stank behind it, not just. Right?
Shauna be sharpening that shit.
I
Dude.
mean, he did
That's
help.
true.
He did help her too. Like he was like holding her hand and like helping like
That's
kill
true.
himself.
Yeah, he was guiding the ship.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was stinky.
I did shit myself.
I blamed it on the fruit. I was so embarrassed. Thank you. But Misty comes in the morning to bring the food, and like it's all like no dialogue, there's no sound, but you can assume Travis is like, "Oh, what's up? Are you okay?
Where's Coach?
You're like a cave, Misty. Fuck." And Natalie comes out all bloody. I did like this. Sophie Thatcher's amazing. It's an interesting way that the camera focuses only on Natalie while you can hear the reactions of all the other girls, which I thought was an interesting way to shoot the scene. And I really appreciated that.
What did you do?
Nothing.
I kept a promise.
Whose blood? Are you okay? Like there's this whole, like the first they're like, are you all right? Shit. They
Yeah.
don't realize that that's Coach's blood. But Misty gets to his body. And this is an interesting performance as well, where she like folds his arms up and she starts crying and then she slaps herself. Stop it. You're being a sissy.
that was good.
That was good.
And then she says goodbye, Ben. Gives him a kiss, I think. I was taking notes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then they all panic and like jump her at first. Like,
Fucking get her.
What did I get her?
what did you do?
What'd you do?
And I think
That was our only chance home.
Yeah.
I think Lottie saves Natalie kind of here.
Agreed.
Because they're all like, I think we know we have to kill her. And Lottie's like, I think we know what to do. And Lottie's like, Shauna will lead us. Right. And they're like, that's not what we were going to say.
It's a really bad idea.
We were going to say kill Natalie, but maybe that is better. And Thaisa wants to be leader. So she's got to be not too happy about this. But as punishment, she says, Natalie will prepare the feast, which is kind of wild.
It's fucked up.
They go from not just making Natalie do it, but the idea that they're like, obviously we eat him, right? They're not even hungry.
Right. They have a bunch. They got Mortimer. They got all kinds of shit.
Like they're just doing it for fun now. This is an escalation.
This is how we honor our dead.
Well,
We
they
eat
say
them?
give the wilderness what it wants. Like apparently they're like, oh, it wants us to eat them. Like from now on.
Sure.
Yeah.
And
Gets
also
off on it.
now we leave the full head and sit it up to watch us eat them.
Yeah.
Because fuck it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. When Coach's head was sitting there, I was like,
I was
God
like,
damn.
yeah.
We went from covering it with the hanky to just watch me eat you, bro.
Playing with his mouth
They
and
haven't,
shit.
they haven't done that.
Oh, don't eat me. Don't eat me.
I can't walk.
Owie, my ankle.
Because they haven't done that yet with any of the other people they've
No,
eaten,
it
right?
was like Bobby's head propped up.
Yeah.
But also, again, this is the first time where it's like it hasn't been necessary to eat the person. It's just this is an honorary like ritual that they're doing to honor the person. Because before it was during the wintertime where they were like literally starving.
Yeah, like
I don't think
get
Coach
that.
would have wanted this.
That's like crawling in a tauntaun to survive.
I
Versus,
thought they smelled bad on the outside.
Which when you think about it, like his entire fear was them eating him. And then they fucking ate him.
Yeah.
he's just sitting there as a head, like, I knew it.
Damn.
I called this
Called
shit.
this.
Like if he was like Futurama head, he would have been so like.
I remember the first time they shot his, or they looked at his head on the table. My first thought was like, that'd be so wild if someone caught them now.
Yeah, the frame of the head and then them walking up is so good.
So
Yeah.
good.
Also, it's another thing that they do that they didn't used to do is that while they're eating, now Lottie goes, ah!
Yeah, that's new.
Which is an interesting little tick.
And that makes the. And here's the thing: like we hear the forest back at them, right?
Yeah.
And that was the noises they've been hearing, and so they're all like, ah. So are they summoning the wilderness? And then all these other people don't hear that.
Exactly. Like they should have already been a little weirded out. But I like how Lottie's like, sing. And they're all like, ah. And what songs are you guys listening to? Cannibal Corpse? That makes sense.
What if the reason why they started recording, because the first thing we hear in the recording is 1, 2, 3 is the song, what is that? Maybe that was like they heard all the woods being spooky. So they started recording and then that noise led them to the girls.
Yeah. Oh my God. What is this? Yeah. Totes. That's
I just
good.
really want some supernatural shit. I need it.
I'm
I'm sad in advance for you, buddy.
also team supernatural.
Yeah, I'm with you guys, but I don't think that's where we're going. Back in the present, Callie wins the poker hand.
She hustles him.
Yeah, she's playing poker for Candy, which in my experience doesn't go well. If you don't have real money on the line, people don't play properly.
Yeah.
It's never worth it. But I'm glad they're having fun. And Shauna comes in. She wants one of her mother-daughter chats, right? I did like Callie's clap back because she's very upset with her being recorded. And she's like, you're not old enough to be a part of this. And Callie says, I'm the same age you were, ... when you were murdering.
Mm-hmm.
And then she says, I just want to be close to you. I thought you wanted that too, which is very emotionally manipulative, but props.
I didn't want you spying on me.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally different, but you're gaslighting,
kind
but
of
sure.
confused by Callie's motivations at this point. Like,
She's just bored.
She just
I
needs to be in the
guess.
plot.
Wants to know what's going on.
Yeah.
I guess.
I need this job.
I love.
You see what happened to Kyle?
We got
where
the
is he?
tiniest little bit of Shauna regressing to her old self with the go before I do something I regret. Like
I'll fucking kill you.
there's something in there.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
Same.
Oh yeah.
That's what I said
Same.
like 4 episodes
So
ago.
badly.
If like Melanie Linsky was just slitting throats and basically how Misty was in season 1, I would like love that, That's one of my favorite things ever. Like movies like Long Kiss Goodnight, or even better example is A History of Violence. I fucking love that. He's like this nice diner owner. Spoilers for History of Violence. And they're like, Joey. He's like, I'm not Joey. I don't know. But anyway, it turns out he's a bad motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
Like I like that shit. And I want that from Shauna. But then she pulls the old recently deleted rookie move, man. First off,
Yeah.
Shauna.
rookie move.
It was just so silly because I was like, yeah, that's such a Gen Z thing to do. Recently deleted.
Gotcha. So now she's going to hear whatever we didn't hear. I'm jealous of Callie right now, for real.
I know.
Back in the past, Natalie has to prepare Coach Scott's body for dining to fucking eat it, are my notes. And Shauna like instructs her, start with the joints, which I don't clean carcasses or meat. I don't know what that means.
I guess that's an easier starting point. I don't know.
Sure. And then she puts the hanky over the face like, I'm not a pussy, but like you might need this.
And she retrieves the necklace because they gave the necklace to Coach Ben before they were going to shoot him. And I guess they just let him keep it for that time.
Well, also she says, I cover my eyes, but I know what I'm doing. So you need to watch yourself fucking cut into this dude. It's so much worse. Ugh.
But then we're just going to prop his fucking head up. Yeah. So all of this is pointless, actually.
Yeah.
This actually doesn't bother us.
And then I found it to be interesting that Shauna was giving
So true.
Shauna was giving Natalie this courtesy of like covering Ben's face. So, Natalie wasn't like being like disturbed by that, but also Shauna has been shitting on Natalie this whole time. And like Shauna, so I'm kind of like, okay, where
She's
are
like,
you
I'm
falling?
not a total
right now?
bitch.
Yeah,
Young
exactly.
Shauna is a truly bizarre character to me.
Yeah,
this season.
she's very polarizing in terms of like her motivations and like how she feels towards some of the characters. But it's in this instance specifically, because I'm like, you've been like having beef with Natalie the entire time this season, and then you're showing her this kindness, which, I get it, but it just seemed a little weird.
There's some humanity there that
Totally.
she shows a little bit for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
Back in the present, it's Lisa and Misty talking more about what happened. And she says, look, she just ordered some food from my restaurant. She gave me a $50,000 tip and an apology. And I
wasn't
took
even
it
that good.
and rolled out. Yeah, I was
Oh,
late
yeah.
and everything.
I just made the connection that's why Lottie was practicing in the mirror. The apology.
Oh, yeah. She was going to see Lisa,
Oh.
give her the money and apologize to her.
Yeah.
Probably. Maybe she was making all kinds of amends,
Maybe.
That's true.
But that's where the $50K went.
Yep.
She withdrew.
Yep. And Lisa says that Thaisa was there and met up with Lottie. So we're back with Thaisa as a suspect, our original suspect, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Van is researching dat stuff in bed.
Dat stuff.
Thaisa wakes up probably as her actual self for a second
Yes.
to get help
You've
from
got to help me.
Van. And then she's like, psh, girl,
Why are you still up? You should get some sleep, girl.
you look good though.
Sleepy time tie.
Yeah, sleepy time tie. Back to her shenanigans. Misty is cleaning Caligula's cage, which she used to do with Walter.
Caligula.
There we go.
I was waiting for it.
She texts Thaisa, gets the test results from Carl, but the DNA means nothing to her because she has no profile to compare it to. And then she ends up asking Walter for help.
No. Good.
I love how Carl starts his email like, hey, maybe you and I sometime could hang out. It's like, in your dreams, Carl.
Loser.
Nerd.
Back in the past, Mari comes to Natalie. What the fuck is this scene? Because it's like, the tone is like, I respect what you did, but the words are like, I don't. And Mari's kind of a weird character in general. So
I think it is supposed to be, I respect what you did. You did the right thing. This is my fault. But like, she knows she can't, like there's other people, there's other people around. So she verbalizes it differently.
But Natalie seems to understand what she really means, how this is supposed to read.
What did you do?
Yeah.
That was a really nice thing.
Respect.
You had no right to do that, but seriously, good job.
Give me some knocks.
Yeah. I can't believe you made it through the chest plate. That's a beastie. Van says, Shauna does seem better because she's kind of watching her interact and now that she's gotten laid. And Misty hums while she eats, and this starts the whole thing. Because at first Lottie's like, this is wrong. We have to go while we eat.
Is Misty humming Breakfast at Tiffany's?
I didn't clock the song.
I didn't clock
tell.
it either.
I think it's the beginning of Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh, okay. I believe you.
And then she hears the whispering laughter is what the subtitle said. We get that like static crack again, and which was in Akila's vision. And then the creature screams back, and then she's like, sing, and they're all like, whoa, they all go
25
full,
years and my life is still.
they go full.
What's going on?
They go full Zoidberg in the woods there. Whoa. And then Lottie sees a man. She thinks it's Coach Ben. Travis is all like, wow.
I thought we killed him and ate him.
But it's regular ass people.
He has 2 legs now.
It worked. What? What you think we were doing, Travis?
You fixed him. Then the guy that comes up sees the head and goes, what the fuck? And it's the end of the episode. And I was like, God damn, that's a good twist.
Mm-hmm.
That is the
good.
end of the episode. It's time for our favorite moments and other categories. But first, a quick word from one of our sponsors.
Hello, Stream Fiends, as we march into the vibrant spirit of spring, where new beginnings bloom and the chill starts to wane, we want to pause for a moment of gratitude. Before we wrap up today's episode, we have a very special tradition that's as revitalizing as the first day of spring, acknowledging our super patrons. These incredible individuals support us at the $25 tier or more, nurturing the growth of our podcast like the March sun encourages the flowers to bloom. They are the roots of our community, ensuring that our creative endeavors continue to flourish. So let's give a special shout out to none other than Xander Barbarian, Aubrey Carell, Daniel Pack, Nice Guy Eddie, Taloon, Jordan Garvin, Albus Stinkpot, Haley Maddlestat, Susie Callahan, Anthony Corona, Jim E, Lady Trashley Milady, Sean Myers, Just Liz Calabria, Mike from New Hampshire, Brett X, E Scramo, Lil Tickler, Svento7, Jay Scramo, Lothpum, AK Ashley Ray, Adam Busby, Big Butthorn, Jair Latanovich, Kaylee Sampson, Rabbit Dog in a Barbie Car, Elpander, Charlie Friday, Alexis Adler, Peaches, Emmy, Haley B, Joe Velez, Trisha Bueller, Sun-Loving Mortal, Suzanne Rode, Jadinklage Morgoon, Kalisha Reeves, Paula Garcia, Brenda, Aaron Armstrong, Kevin Strother, Ashley Powers, The Thrift Creeper, Casey McCain, and Enza. Thank you all so much for supporting Streaming Things all this time. And with that, let's get back to the episode.
And we're back. It's time for our choice cuts, our top 3 favorite moments of episode 6. Madison, what is your number 3?
My number 3 is when Van is looking through her boxes and there's the like, we hear the static noise and then she like gets a phone call on the, is it a rotary phone? Is it proper to call it a rotary phone?
No. Rotary is a,
Yeah, it's got
that's
a
just
circular.
that's just a phone.
It's just a telephone. It's just a telephone.
Telephone. Okay. Well, she gets a call on the telephone and it's
We're not
Ty.
that old.
Listen.
Operator,
But it had
give
a
me
cord.
Taisa.
It had a cord on it, right? Those
Is that
have
you,
cord-
Graham Bell?
It had a cord.
Guys, leave me alone.
Why didn't Taisa just text her?
Send her
Are these the ones that had snake?
send her a pigeon with a note. Smoke signal, please. But I liked it because it was, I like to believe it was supernatural, but it was just like a fun, like, oh, this is spoopy. This is really creepy. And then I liked the detail of like the Yellowjacket sticker on the phone, which was cool. But yeah, it was just a cool, fun scene. I liked that one.
Andy?
I'm gonna change mine right now. Actually, I think my number 3 is young Misty going to Coach's body, and she's like crossing his arms and stuff, and she's crying, and there's sweet music playing. But when she does that, stop it, and hits herself in the head, the like the music cuts out and stuff, and it's just like really, really effective. Like her flipping this fucking switch. She's such a crazy, interesting person, and Samantha Anratty's such a good actress, and yeah, it's a really sweet, weird, awesome scene.
Steve?
My number 3 is young Van and Ty being catty about Shauna and Melissa.
Great moment.
That's good.
It really made me laugh. Like the whole like, she makes her call her shipman, like all that kind of stuff. Like it's just really funny.
I love the
and
little
enjoyable.
cat. Yeah, hi. When waving from 10 feet away.
Oh man, young Van is like one of my favorite characters, and young Van when she's like, shady like that is so funny. Like, hi, weirdo.
My number 3 is when Walter sends the limo with the trash.
That's good.
I just love me some Walter, and it's such a funny little, consider it a peace offering. And like Elijah Wood is so good at this kind of character, and especially like little, even when it's just like a voiceover of him reading text or something, like it's just got that, I don't know, it's so charming and stanky and fun. But yeah, the limo is great. That's my number 3. Madison, you're number 2.
Charming and stanky.
Like not in a coach way.
I see. My number 2 is, I think it's your number 3, where Misty is kind of, adjusting Ben's body, and is saying goodbye. And I just think Samantha Hanratty's performance is really great during that scene. And also I liked the way that they edited it with the music cutting. I thought it was really, really cool.
Andy?
My number 2 is Van getting the phone call. I just think that's from the rotary phone. It's just so fucking cool, and give me all of the fucking supernatural stuff and the screams, Van, I can't help, whatever. And then Ty coming in and being like, hey, what color box cutter you want or something? I don't know. I was like, ooh, what the fuck are we doing? This is fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a good time.
Rotary phone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's my number 2 as well. Specifically that style of phone, the clear, see-through, it lights up when it rings phone. Like, I don't have a lot of memories about my bio dad, but he had one of those, and I have one of my only vivid memories of him, in like not a bad way, is my mom and I being at his apartment, and his phone went off, and like I was probably like 3 or 4 at the time, and thinking that was the coolest. Like, whoa, you could see the inside of the phone. Holy shit. Mm-hmm. So that was like a cool little PTSD moment I had seeing that phone light up. But also the fact that
what, did he hit you with it afterward?
No.
Throwing it at your head?
No. We won't get into it. But the fact that Ty's like on the other end, like, help me. And then the other Ty comes in like, oh, which box cutter? It's very, are you afraid of the dark or Goosebumps, but in like the best way?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's just like that, like early 90s style horror show beat. It hits that nostalgia itch for me in that way. So that's my number 2.
My number 2 is when Natalie comes in with the knife and the coach looks at it. Ow.
Quit stabbing him.
The way he's so happy to finally be relieved, to shuffle this mortal coil, and says thank you. Steven Kruger has been crushing it these last few episodes, and it was tough to say goodbye. I do think it's a waste of a good character, but what a way to go. Mm-hmm. One last great performance. That's my number 2. Madison, your favorite moment of episode 6?
My favorite moment is the very last scene where the people come up, and it's the close up on Coach Ben's head, and then they just walk up and then they react to the head. I think it's a pivotal moment for the show. And so I'm just excited to see where it goes. And I, like you said before, I was very excited to watch the next
New Jersey
episode.
accent.
I know, it came out. Sorry.
A little pivotal
Pivotal moment.
It's a good moment. I think that's all of our number 1s, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, same.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I mean, just that delivery of like, what the fuck? And then like the hard cut to credit is like really funny and a great punctuation to end the episode on.
And it was such a shock because we know, like Andy said, but in the inverse, we know that they stay there for a while and that they're not in prison back in the real world or back in the present timeline. And so it never occurred to us that any interloper would show up.
Yeah.
And it's such like not a comedy of errors, but something like that where they're all like, oh, they're dancing around and having a great time and actually just embracing this.
Would have been awesome if you showed up like last night.
Yeah, literally any other day in the last 5 months would have been a rescue.
Yeah.
But at this moment, now we have to kill you. And it's so good. I love it.
Their faces when they see the other people, like, oh no.
Even if Coach's head just wasn't there, they could be like, yeah, this is Goose,
You want some?
From Top Gun, kill him. No. That was the worst joke of all time. Leave it in.
I will.
Any hoozle. It's our number 1. I'm so embarrassed.
We all everybody on the number 1?
Yeah.
We all everybody.
Oh yeah.
Sing. Now it's time for our Honeycombs, where we really just stretch this bit out and try to identify the soundtrack. Steve?
I just like the shout out for the orange peanut butter crackers.
Oh.
Those are very nostalgia coded for me. I can't eat them now because they're just dry and disgusting. But as a kid, when you see that neon omega orange cracker, there's got to be some peanut butter in between them. And
They had cheddar versions too.
They did, but usually
Nobody got those. You're right.
What?
I'm with Andy.
That's the best one.
I prefer
Especially if
the
it's a
cheddar
club
one.
cracker.
Well, then why'd you just say there's some peanut butter in there?
Which ones are you talking about?
Because
So you're right,
because-
lighter.
No.
Cheese on cheese
Because-
instead of cheese on peanut
Cheese
butter
on
crackers.
cheese.
But
Yeah.
if you get the club ones, then they're even better.
So-
I still buy those on like road trips and stuff.
We
Fuck
used
yeah.
to all smoke weed at my house, and my dad, my buddy came upstairs super high when we were like 16, and it was Josh, and he was like, "Hey, Dave," was my dad. "You got any of them cheese on cheese?" And so my dad called him cheese on cheese for like years.
That's funny.
He was so blazed. Got any cheese on cheese? Anyway, go on, Steve.
Oh no, my point was just the cheese on cheese was better, but 9 times out of 10 when someone offered you a packet of them things, it was the peanut butter version.
That's true. I think they
And
were
it
more
was-
ubiquitous. The cheese on cheese was good, but it had like that. Like you can't eat it as an adult, but they had that like fake cheese tang.
Yeah.
That
Like this was
yummy.
obviously a powder first.
Yeah, that's them right there.
had to look
Austin
it
cheddar
up.
cheese. You never had that?
You never had these? These were like the things that were handed like, oh, we got to give out snacks to the soccer team this weekend. Let's get those dumbass crackers out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or like
I see.
Maybe even the little bags of Ritz Bits circle ones.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys were bougie.
Okay.
Every lunch from kindergarten
see.
to 5th grade.
I'm with it now.
We're not that much older, you know?
No, I just wasn't understanding like what you were talking about. Now I know what you're talking about.
You ever had a ring pop?
Yeah.
Baby, what about a baby bottle pop?
I've had a baby bottle pop. Yeah.
Baby bottle pop?
Baby bottle pop.
Yeah. Twist it.
Yeah.
Pull it.
Pull it.
You ever had a firecracker pops? I'm just trying to see where the lines are.
Did you have one of those suckers that had a radio built into it, and if you
Oh.
bit down, you could listen to music?
Oh my God,
Maybe.
Andy. I forgot about those.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Holy shit.
No.
What were the push-up ones where it was like candy? You had to push it up.
Push pop.
Push pop. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, no.
No, push
Oh.
pops are the ice cream, right?
I
they're-
guess you're
they're-
right. But I
yeah.
know what you're talking about. The like you stick your finger through and it's just a big hard piece of.
Yeah, and you were like sucking on it.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
going on?
It looked
right
like
now?
It
It's
looked-
not rock candy, but it's like a
It looked like
cylinder.
lipstick.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
can't remember what it was called. And then Pop Rocks.
Oh yeah, Pop
I'm
Rocks.
with it. I'm with
Okay.
it.
You guys remember circus peanuts? That was the candy of my time.
Peanut brittle?
Oh, only if I want cavities.
No, butterscotch. I used to eat those. Help your tummy too. Every now and then we'd get a fizzy pop from the corner store.
When I was good during the Depression, I would get the sweet treat of white bread.
Yeah, my phone had a cord.
Oh, it was a push pop. This thing.
Yeah, so what was the popsicle that pushed up?
I know
the
what you're talking
Flintstone
about.
I think so,
Yeah,
too.
I thought that was called
You had the
push
little
pop,
wrapper
too.
on the top and lick that shit.
Shit was good.
The orange ones?
They're also called push pops.
Oh,
okay.
So I'm
Or
not crazy.
pop-ups.
Pop-ups?
Yeah,
Push ups.
Pop-ups.
Huh.
Popsicle pop-ups is what they were called.
Bop it.
Bop it.
Twist it.
Well, now it's time for our buzzworthy performance, our top favorite,
buzz.
our favorite performance of the episode. Interesting choices here, I think. Well, no, I think there's one clear winner. I don't know. Madison?
Well, besides the pushing the snot to the side, I think Sophie Thatcher did a really good job this episode.
I pulled up a snot for you. This is exhibit 2.
Oh, you pulled it up. Okay.
I can't pause because of this stupid screen, but look
Well,
at that.
I'm not
Look at
going
that.
to change my answer.
No. It doesn't take anything away from her.
Wait, let me see it again.
Here,
That just
we'll go
means
back.
she's actually acting it out, you know?
Oh, yeah. Well, the first time I was like,
That's
oh,
insane.
nice.
So are you saying that
That
she's just
inch-long stream is there 3 or 4 times.
So are you saying that like Sophie Thatcher is just consistent with the snot, or are you saying that
I
the
bet- I wonder if
makeup
they-
just put fake snot?
Yeah. That, or they filmed all of this like she's in cry mode. Let's get all of these scenes out of the way. Don't wipe the snot, Nat. Or Sophie, don't wipe the snot, you know?
That seems like a production nightmare. I don't know if that's possible,
Yeah.
but
Weren't they always in that little pen with Coach every time she was crying like that?
I guess. But
Yeah, they're all in that little teepee
That's
circle for
I-
sure.
I-
You gotta relight it.
Yeah,
It's gonna
that's a
take
lot of- that's a
couple
lot.
hours to
Okay,
change the lights.
maybe she's just one of those, this is how I cry, you know? And I snot at the right side.
I mean, maybe her snot is the equivalent to the Florence Pugh pout. You know what I mean?
I'm going to find every other. Look, here, this has got to be one. Did you see it?
That is so tedious.
Isn't it crazy?
That's crazy that you paid attention that
Oh,
close.
what? You're going to blame me?
You brought it up.
It's a close-up.
It's so tiny.
It's not a criticism. I'm just saying, I said it was like a thing that bothered. It's just something I noticed.
Okay.
Like, look at this guy. Coach is, look, that motherfucker is dangling. And Coach is going to die. He's not snotting.
Well, he's happy about it.
Anyway,
That's
I think
true. He's not even saying.
My Buzz performance goes to Sophie Thatcher.
Hell yeah.
With the snot included.
Snot and all.
Snot included.
That was the clear winner I alluded to, by the way.
So is the snot.
Andy?
Dude, I've been bouncing around between three. Either Sophie Thatcher, Samantha Hanratty, or Steven Kruger.
Same.
Right? I think I'm going to give it to Samantha Hanratty. Like, shout out Steven Kruger, because this is his last episode. It's the last opportunity, really, to give it to him, unless they do, like, more flashbacks and stuff. So shout out to him. But Samantha Hanratty, with her moments, like, when she finds out that Ben was murdered and she's, like, screaming at Natalie, like, what did you do? What did you do? And screaming that she's a murderer and stuff. And then her moment when she crosses his arms and, like, hits herself and stuff. She's just doing good work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Steve?
At the end of the day, I think I'm also going to give it to Samantha Hanratty for everything you just said. There's just like she's doing a lot of interesting things with the performance of young Misty, and like the whole like hitting herself moment was just, I think that's a really like she needs to put that scene on her reel if she hasn't already, because I think that was a really captivating performance during that one scene, but everything else she's always on it as well. So that's mine.
I am also going to give it to Sophie Thatcher.
Good.
I think she was excellent in this episode, and it's interesting what they've done with her character as well. Now that she's not alive in the main timeline, I think that is a consequence of that. But like she had this whole thing with Travis that was the basis of her adult character as well. And it's interesting. Now they're like, actually, they didn't hang out much after the first 6 months, you know. But anyways, she has this whole thing with Coach as well and their friendship, and kind of the two quote unquote normal people that are saying goodbye to one another. There's layers to this, and like the commitment to the savagery that she's now a part of. And she just anchors this episode in such a great way. I was pretty stunned by it. Very impressive. That's my choice. Sophie Thatcher. Andy just watched Companion last night.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, she fucking crushes in that movie.
Really?
So good.
Nice.
So good.
It's on my watch list.
Good movie, pretty decent flick. But that's episode 6. I mean, we got 7, 8, 9. We got 3 left. I think there's 9 in this, unless they just haven't given us the 10th one.
Do we want to take bets on when Hilary Swank will show up?
Last minute of the finale.
Somebody, I don't know if it was
Finale.
Discord or somebody
But at this
emailed
rate, it
or I
feels
just
like it.
read a comment or something. I think it was Discord, but could have been an email. It doesn't matter. But somebody was like, I really think they just wanted to rope people in for the new season. So they advertised Swank early when really she's just going to be mostly a season 4 person and come in towards the end. And they called that shit because they sent us that, if an email it was. Oh, it was a while ago. It was like episode 2 or episode 3. So good call, whoever said that, because it's episode 6, still no Swank.
Apparently the season is 10 episodes.
So we just haven't gotten the finale yet. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. So we got 4 episodes left. Just keep tuning in. Our Severance episode, of course, drops later this week.
It's the finale.
It's the finale. It's a big one. And then Game of Thrones finale for season 4 on our Patreon as well, at patreon.com/streamingthings. And we are beginning our Midnight Mass coverage now that Arcane is over on Patreon as well. So tune in for that, guys. We thank you for all of your love and support. That's all the time we've got for right now. We've got to go return some videotapes, even though Madison doesn't know what that is probably. My name is Kit.
My name's Madison.
I'm Annie.
And I'm Steve.
And this was Streaming Things, streaming Yellowjackets.
Happy streaming.